Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Mordechai attaches a photo of my son Akiva Links. Is Robert here today? No, it's not. Where's Akiva? Akiva! Robert Links is. Yeah, get over here. Get over here. Robert is the one that designed the Beis Medrash, and he's the architect here in Ramat Shemesh. As far as I know, there might be others. I don't know. I only hear his name over and over. Attaches the photo of my son Akiva Links and his friend Meir Rekant learning the Davi Yeshivas Mesifta Beis Shemesh. Probably one of the best yeshivas here. Shalom Aleichem. What a chush of a father. You know that he designed this place, right? How long you been doing the Daf since the beginning of Megillah? Yeah. You like it? It's okay? Mesifta allows it? You gonna get a TV in there for us? What?
As long as it's not in Seder time.
Not in Seder time. Here, look at this picture of them learning on two screens. I noticed that a little off here. Like somebody's ahead of the other one.
It's not live.
It's not live, and you guys just did it on different things. Beautiful. Do this every day. Where is this? In his office? In yeshiva? This is in yeshiva in the computer room. Mesifta! Way to go. All right, get more guys. Shkoyach. This is Avis Ubanim, the flu edition. This is in New York. Everybody has the flu. They're learning at home. Very nice. 5-year-old pointing to Beis Hamikdash, wherever he is. Maybe he's a 20-year-old. I have no idea. Interesting one here. My son Yosef Simcha had a disastrously bad experience after leaving high school and going to a regular Beis Medrash. He refused to even pick up a sefer and would not get very annoyed if I even suggest learning. I suggested he try MDY and he was hooked. The only issue is now I get woken up at 5 a.m. to Yosef Simcha listening on full volume. Has nothing to do with music or anything else. It's teenagers. They have no clue. Here's a copy of his status. Listen to this, the status. The morning after attending the MDY Muncie Pasek Tinik Siyum, Piנחs Clear Koper, something like that, RH 78. I'll read the status and you'll see this picture. I never imagined being able to say, this is on his status, a Bacher is writing. I never imagined being able to say I finished the Masechta with my father. Well, now I can say that. And at Dad, just like you and your father, my Zayda, did the Daf and connected and bonded together over the Daf, I can say Zaydi's looking down and smiling. Seeing me and you know, and now doing the Daf together. And in Mitzvah Hashem, I hope I'm able to do the same with my sons. It's beautiful stuff. Yeah. What is this? Yossi, thank you, Rebelli. Yossi the Harry's been high and a changed person since getting involved with MDY, Manchester. This is from Gershon Rose, talking about somebody else. Yossi the Harry is a changed person since he got involved with MDY. Manchester is on wheels and b'schus Yossi. I've learned Megillah 22 times, yet I'm getting another perspective from your shir and graphics. My chavruser Avraham Weisfish, in how Shoichet and his son Shmuly got me into MDY. On the shir in Asar B'Tevis, you mentioned that Queen Esther was chosen on Asar B'Tevis, and we started Maseches Megillah also on Asar B'Tevis. Do you have a makar for what you said? I told this to one of my friends. He just wanted the makar for this book. He's writing a book about Purim. Phil Byrne, Skokie, Illinois. Yes, the Ramos says it in Mechir Yayin, in the Sefer Mechir Yayin. Huh? You do? Yeah, because he's from Skokie. Phil Byrne, Dr. Epson says hello. Okay, today's shir. By the way, Paris Chaim Levine and the crew in Flatbush, Shalom Aleichem. How you doing? How do I know that they're together right now? Because Paris Chaim Levine was in a pizza shop. Somebody just sent me a message. He's in a pizza shop and he's ordering all these coffee drinks, you know, the frozen coffee, whatever it is, and 3 pies of pizza. And the guy says, "What do you need so much stuff? It's so late at night." He goes, "We're watching this shir." He goes, "What? That's Stefansky guy?" He says, "Yeah. Well, I also occasionally watch him," and he paid for everything. So Yishkayach, whoever it is. And then the guy behind the counter says, "Well, what's going on? What is this?" So Paris Chaim Levine pulls out a Gemara, signs him up on the spot. So Shalom Aleichem, the guys in Flatbush. Rabbi said we need to daven. This is a guy that was here in this room, a guy that learns the daf with us every day, a guy that does all the graphics. Shalom Baruch Yehuda ben Malka Freder Tzarech Rachmi Shmaim Merubim. Paras HaChodesh for the Koilel, Chayim from Lakewood. Lilu Nishmas Yeshua Aryeh Leyva Kohen ben Yonis and Chayim Zechron Levrocha. Maseches Megillah. sponsored, the entire Masechta, by Davis and the Kessler families in zechus, Refuah shleima for Miriam Esther bas Devora. Again, Maseches Megillah, sponsored by Shmuly Hecht. F245, the English shleima, פינחס, טוביה, זכרנו לברכה ben Abraham, Moshe Peretz, Neir, Yoyer. Paras HaChodesh, in honor of RL 97 Akiva Hundert for introducing me to Rebelli's Daf. Paras HaChodesh, Daniel and Sir Cohen. Zechus for Refuah shleima for Gabriel ben Yomin ben Cyril Fruma. In honor of the upcoming Bar Mitzvah. This is the line right over here. And you're in charge of this line from now on. I can't say that. I can't be invited to guy like that. It's too bad.
I can't take it.
So then you can't come anymore.
Okay, won't come. That's what it takes.
So hush if you not take the job? That's drawing the line. You're drawing the line. Draw it right here. This is the line you need to draw.
Okay, no. Can't tell him what to do. He's a nice guy.
It's your job. Not him. Everybody. Every day I have to tell the guy. Yesterday I was Mavai Shaya Kamyansky because of it.
You keep on bashing.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, he's not doing it. I'll be invited next guy. Don't worry about it. I have no problem. In honor of the upcoming Bar Mitzvah. Okay. Where are we? Yeah. Listen to this. Two simchas. In honor of the upcoming Bar Mitzvah of MDY, Shir Ben Akiva Hundert. It's my chance now to get rid of him. Avi, yes or no? If I draw the line and he says no, we got a free seat here. In honor, think about it all, Shir.
Really want to do this?
No! In honor of the upcoming Bar Mitzvah of MDY, Shir Akiva Hundert from Minneapolis and Baltimore Cousins, Mazal Tov. Avraham and Spritz. We have to say this again now. Look what you did. I have to say this again. This is Bar Mitzvah. In honor of the upcoming Bar Mitzvah of MDY Shir Ben Akiva Hundert from your Minneapolis and Baltimore Cousins, Mazal Tov. Avraham and Spritz grows. In honor of the upcoming marriage of seeing your dear son, Yonathan to Elana Abadi. May they be zechus to the Beis, never be Yisrael. Amen. Today is Daf Yud Daled. Huh? Oh, that's Akiva. Akiva, get over here. But don't jump over the thing. There's no wall there. Okay, fine. We'll do a thing on your Bar Mitzvah day. That's the Akiva. I didn't chapa with it. Okay. By the way, last night, I gave out a bunch of these beautiful bookmarks. Penny Augustine. I didn't mention his name. I didn't know who it was. Now I know. Penny Augustine. He's going to send more. Whoever didn't get. Anybody didn't get here? Okay. I don't know. I have one for myself, but I'll give it to you. You're tzaddik here. No, Eli is a big tzaddik. Okay. We're the last line on Daf Yud Gimel Amud Beis. So what does it say here? Achashverosh the Russia takes. That's your job. You see, if you're going to take that job, take the other job too. This is a dangerous seat. I'm telling you, this is a dangerous seat. The Haman gives money. Aseres alafim shekel to Achashverosh. Says Achashverosh, he's such a Russia. I enjoy killing the Jews. I don't need your money. Take your money back. Omar Rebbe Abba, top of Yudal and Amud Aleph. Mashal da Achashverosh v'Haman l'mad Davidoy. He gives a mashal. L'shnei b'nei Adam le'achadai loy tel b'toich sadeu. A person had a mound in the middle of his field. That's Achashverosh. Had a mound. They explain, he held the Jews to high esteem. We saw yesterday, he was scared of them. HaKadosh Baruch was going to punish me like he punished Belshazzar. He held to them. He hated them, but he knew that they have some powers. Lechad, Avi, there's some new guys here. Here, there's chair over here, chair over here. Come to the front, don't worry about it. Okay, chair in the back. The other guy's neighbor had a hole in the ground. One has a mound, one has a hole. I wish I could buy this mound so I could fill up my hole. Every time I go by with my tractor, I fall into the hole. I need to fill it up. I can't get over with my tractors. Each one needs the other one. They figure out that they're neighbors. So the guy with the hole says to the guy with the mound, which is Haman. Haman tells Mordechai, could you please, here's 10,000 shkolim, I need those Jews. You take it, I benefit, I get rid of my mound, you get rid of your hole. It's okay, I don't need your money. Says Achashverosh to Haman, you're doing the job I wish I could do. Kill them, take care of it. In other words, he's a Rasha. He takes off his signet, his ring. We see this all the time, like on Tu B'Av, when it's the last moment, that's when people chapa a tzitr, they start doing tshuva. When they saw it's all over, it doesn't matter. You have a navi. Imagine today we don't have neviim. What was the biggest disaster of Churban Beis Hamikdash? No more neviim. Imagine you have a navi. People, where's my donkeys? Where did my mules go? You go to navi. He tells you, go there, make a right. Go there, fine. Every shaila you have, nevios. A navi tells you it's going to be bad for you. It's going to be disaster. No, we're not listening to the navi. Oh, but once he takes off the signet and they see that's it. He's serious. So which king takes off his ring, gives it to somebody else? It's all over for us. Oh, then they did tshuva. More than the 48 neviim. V'sheva neviyash and established Yisrael, the 7 women of neviyos that Klal Yisrael had. Shekulam le'yachzirim lemutav. They couldn't get Klal Yisrael to do tshuva. V'ilu hasaras tabas hechzirosa lemutav. Torah Rabbana. Arba'im v'shemona neviim v'sheva neviyos and established Yisrael. They didn't add anything to the Torah. No mitzvahs. Chutz mikra Megillah. The only thing that they really added as a mitzvah to the Torah is mikra Megillah. What about Chanukah, Neres Chanukah? It's also, before we get to Chanukah, what about all the other stuff? Eruv. So Eruv is a geder to Hilchah Shabbos. Everything that Chacham were masakin were gedarim. But you have a problem with Chanukah. Chanukah is something completely new. It's not a geder. It's a new mitzvah. Lahad l'gner shel Chanukah. Says Rashi that happened after the Nevi'im. No more Nevi'im. My Darush, where do they come up with the Megillah? Omer B'chia bar Oven, Omer Yeshua ben Karcho, Uma me'avos l'cheirus, Aminun Shira. When we came out of Mitzrayim, we say Shira, but we were only slaves. Pari didn't want to kill us. Certainly we should say Shira. So why don't we say Halal on Purim? Lefi shein oimrim Halal al neshom chutz la'aretz. The nes happened in Persia, in chutz la'aretz. You don't say Halal on something that happened in chutz la'aretz. Yitzias Mitzrayim, the nation of chutz la'aretz, Shira. But what about Mitzrayim? Leaving Mitzrayim is also chutz la'aretz. Kedesanyo actually nichnasu Yisrael la'aretz tuchshru kol ha'aretz islam Shira. It's because it was previous. It was prior to Klal Yisrael going into Eretz Yisrael. So therefore, you're able to say Shira on a nest that happened in Chutz La'aretz before they went into Eretz Yisrael. But once they went into Eretz Yisrael, then a nest that happens in Chutz La'aretz, you don't say Shira. Rav Nachman Omar, Kriyasa Zu Heilila. Reading the Megillah is its halal. You don't have to do 2 things. You don't have to say the Megillah and say halal. Reading the Megillah, that's the shir v'tishbacha ta'akash baruch hu. That's the halal of the day. So teretz number 1 of Rav Nachman is we don't say halal. Why? Because we already say halal in the Megillah. Rava Amar bishleima hasam halalu. So Rava says no. They both say the same thing. You're supposed to say halal. But Rav Nachman says I already said it in the Megillah. Rava says you're supposed to say halal, but you can't. Why? Praiseworthy those who worship Hashem, the Jews, and not the slaves of Paran. We're not the slaves of Achashverosh, but we are the slaves of Achashverosh. We're still there in Persia. Yes, we didn't die, but we're still there, so we can't say halal. Akati avdei Achashverosh anan. So the Meiri says, comes out in Nafkamina la'alacha. You have Rava and you have Rav Nachman. They're almost saying the same thing. They're both saying that you're supposed to say halal, but the reason we don't say halal on Purim for 2 separate reasons. Rav Nachman says, because I already say it in the Megillah. Rava says, I can't say the halal. It's not possible, because the halal means that we're not slaves by Achashverosh, but we are. What's an Nafkamina la'alacha? If a guy is stuck in a jail, he doesn't have a Megillah, or he's in, I don't know what, he's in Iowa and his Megillah is puzzle. What should he do? So according to Rav Nachman, that the Megillah is instead of halal, so say halal. Because you don't have a Megillah, so say halal. But according to Rava, that you cannot say halal, because it's a stira to what's going on in Purim, so you can't say halal, even if you don't have a Megillah. So the halacha they paskin though, so the shaila is who's the halacha like? If the halacha is like Rav Nachman, you're supposed to say halal. Each one says, well, the halacha is like this, Rav is last. At the end of the day, I think they paskin halacha, maybe, that you say halal without a bracha. Says the Gemara, Bein Rav Nachman, Kashya, but both according to Rav and Rav Nachman, you're supposed to say halal, but we don't. Kashya, but Tanya Mishinichis La'aretz, Lo Yuchshuru Kol Ha'aretz Lo Mashira. What's going on here? since Purim happened after Klal Yisrael came into Eretz Yisrael, so there shouldn't be any halal at all in Chutz La'aretz. Even the Shigalu Chazru Lechsherim Arishain. Once Klal Yisrael left Eretz Yisrael, went to Bavel, then it starts all over again. Then you could say halal in Chutz La'aretz. V'suleka. So we said there's 48 Nevi'im. I put this down. I don't know why. I think I was scared there wouldn't be any charts. Here's the 48 Nevi'im. If you want to look at it, maybe I'll read it real quickly because it's 48 Nevi'im. There's actually 1.2 Nevi'im, but these are the 48 ones that are written. Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Moshe, Aaron, Yeshua, Piנחas, Elkanah, Eli, Shmuly, Gad, Nosson, David, shleima, Idai, Michio, Evadio, Achia, Yehu, Azariah, Chaziel, Eliezer, Yeshua, Amos, Michael, Amoitz. We had Amoitz the other day. Elio, Elisha, Yoina, Yeshaya, Yoel, Nachum, Chavakuk, Tzefanya, Uriah, Yirmiyah, Yecheskel, Daniel. I put an X here because we learned that Daniel, he wasn't like Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah. He didn't have Nevuah. Rashi takes him out. First Rashi puts him in, then Rashi takes him out, puts Shmai instead. Baruch Neria, Sriya, Machsiya, Chagai, Zechariah, Malachi, Mordechai. That's only 46. Exactly. I'm going to get there. These are all, he's saying these are all names in Ramah Gimel. Chavakuk, Tzvanya, where do you live? Ovadia. Where is it? Ovadia. Okay, here, top. Says the Gemara. But there's more than 40. Well, Rashi says Rashi's able to come up with 46. He can't figure out the last two. There's different pshat in what it is, the last two. Suleka vayihi ish echad min haramasayim, referring to Elkanah Shmuel's father. He's min haramasayim. Tzayfim. What is it, Ramasayim? Echad mimosayim. It's a lashon of Mosayim. He's one of 200 tzayfim should establish him in Yisrael. Right? I forgot how many. We just spoke about the Arak and everything. That woman who saved all those Nevi'im, was it 100 or 50? 100. Huh? 50. So it is, 50 is 100. So you have 200 here, 100 over there. What do you mean there's only 48? Double than the 600,000 that came out of Mitzrayim, 1.2 million. Ella nevuah shutzurcha l'doros nichtava, something that's for tshuva or to something positive, something to get Klal Yisrael to think about doing tshuva. Whatever wasn't necessary. To where do you find your donkeys is not necessary in the Navi, not written. Rabbi Shmuel ben Achmeni Omar, Adam Abba Mishtei Ramos. Elkanah came from a place that he could, from two mountains. You can see like two mountains, Ramah Gimel to Ramah Aleph, two mountains. Rabbi Chanan Omar, Adam Haba Mebnei Adam Sho'imdim Berumei Shalaylam. Elkanah is a descendant of some great people. Uman and Ninu, Bnei Koirach, Dichsiv u'Bnei Koirach Loi Mesu. So Bnei Koirach, as they were realizing what happened, they did tshuva and they were saved. So Mele Elkanah came from Koirach. What's very interesting is, if you think about it, Shmuel, Koirach himself had a nevuah that he's going to have Shmuel as a descendant. So that's part of what tripped him up. He was so sure that he's saying the right thing because look, Shmuel is a descendant. How can it be wrong? But he didn't realize that his sons are going to do tshuva and Shmuel is going to be a descendant, but not from him, but not because of his rishas, because of his sons that did tshuva. They also say that Bnei Koirach Loi Mesu, this idea of machlokes, unfortunately, never died. Machlokes Loi Meis. Yeah. Zog the Gemara. Tana. Mishum Rabbeinu, they said in the name of Rabbeinu, which is Rav, Mokoim Nizbatzer Lahem Begehenem V'amdu Olav. As the ground opened up, there was a special high place, they were able to stand there and they were saved. Sheva Nevi'os Maninu, who are the 7 women who are Nevi'os? Sarah, Miriam, Devora, Chana, Abigail, Hulda, Esther. Sarah D'chsiv, Avi Milka, Vavi Yiska. What does Yiska mean? Yiska zu Sarah, V'loma Nikra Shma Yiska, Shesachsa Beruach HaKodesh. She was able to see with Ruach HaKodesh Shenema Kol HaShatomer Alecha Sarah Shema B'Koila. Don't just listen to her, but listen to her voice. In other words, her voice is that of Ruach HaKodesh. Dover Acher Yiska Sha'Koil Soichim B'Yafya. I'm not getting into it. Is this a heter or not a heter? Some people say, yeah, you're allowed to look at Sarah. Going back to the Sashukha Rebbe, whether he's going to see Sarah in the Sukkah, he has to Shaila. Could he look? What should he do? And then that I don't know if it was a joke or he answered him seriously. Go ask Avraham Avinu. But there's a thing about looking at Sarah Imenu. D'chsiv. Vatikach Miriam Esther. By the way, people in Ramat Gimel, in general, people complain to the city. It's not fair. All the streets are named after men. What about the women? So they have Miriam Esther. They put Miriam Esther. And Chulda, they have Chulda also. And Devora, they have all the Nevi'as. Okay, good. Do they have Esther? No. They have Esther. You know what I noticed? They have Daniel, but Daniel wasn't a Navi. I think the guy didn't read the Gemara. But it's Daniel is a Sefer. Fine. What? So they have all the women there. They have 7 streets. What? They get the side streets. Daniel was a side street. Daniel was a Devora is the main street. Okay. It was a good joke, but it's not true. Devora is the main street. It's not sneeze. Okay. I didn't get any emails yet. The Americans are just waking up now. Yeah, is it? We're talking about Mamish, what we learned yesterday. Why does it say that she's the sister of Aaron, not the sister of Moshe? Moshe Rabbeinu wasn't alive yet. When she's only the sister of Aaron, she used to say Nevios. Asido imi sheteled bein shishiyas Yisrael. My mother's going to give birth to somebody that's going to redeem Klal Yisrael. And as he was born, it's interesting, we're going to have this word also on Amud Beis. What exactly Oira means? Light, physical light, not. Her father kissed her on her head. Who's her father? And who's Amram? Moshe Rabbeinu's father. But who else is he? What's the significance of Amram? Never sinned. He never sinned. There's 4 people that only died because of Adam Rishon and the Nachash. They never ever sinned. And one of them is Amram. Who else do we have? Binyamin, Yishai, and who else? David's Kilov. The Refuah also says that Levi, I don't know where he got it from. That's like the Refuah. Levi and Yeshua ben Nun. This is the Refuah. So Amram was one of these people, and if you think about it, the Gemara when it says it, I'm pretty sure it says Yishai Avi David. It emphasizes it's a person that doesn't sin can have a kid like David, and it says Amram Avi Moshe. I'm pretty sure it says Avi Moshe. It says 2 Avis. Who else could it be? It's Yishai. What? A kill of also? No, kill of Ben David. It says.
Call the guy.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it was a shtickle. He calls me after she goes, no, this is a Gemara. I remember it afterwards. Yeah. He didn't watch the shir. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand. Nebuch. Put him on the spot like that. But it's fine. So he gives her a kiss on the head. Oh my Lord, beautiful. I could see the light. Here he is. He's the Redeemer. Poof, what's going on with you? Your nevuah is off. She had to stand there and see. How long did she stand there? I don't know if this is true. Somebody said that since Mida Toiva Meruba on Mida Perona is 500 times more. So Klal Yisrael waited for Miriam for 7 days. That's 1,008 hours, I think. Divided by 500 is 20 minutes. They wait. What? 7 days. Well, 168, 1,008 minutes. 168 times 60 is how much? 1,028. So Mela divided by 500, because it's the middle, 20 minutes. You waited for 20 minutes. That's exact. I don't know where you got it from. Okay. Okay, now how do we know that Devora is an Aviyah? Devora is a bee, right? Udvora isha neviyah eshes lapidos. She's the wife of lapidos. My eshes lapidos. Who's this lapidos? Shoisa oisa psilos lamigdash. What's fascinating, I think we should pause it for a second, is that lapidos was Na'amaretz, and she wanted her husband to do something positive. He didn't learn, so she used to make the wicks for the migdash and Shiloi, and she used to send him there, and from that she got nevuah. So again, going back to that thing, you could reach the highest madrigas from doing seemingly a very, very small thing. She made wicks. No, wicks. She did. It's not like she learned Torah 24/7. She made wicks. She made wicks, but she had good intent. She wanted her husband to do something positive, and from that came out Devora Hanaviyah. Yeah, Barak. Exactly. I guess that's the question of the Gemara, because what's Lapidos? If his name is Barak, what's the significance? Okay. It was the wicks. Fix is not here. But no, I'm Fix. He has a seminary called Talmud Devora. If anybody wants, he's interviewing girls right now in America. Tomer is here. He just said something a second ago. What do you mean he's here? He said Barak. He's the one that screamed out. I think. I didn't see, but I heard. She sat under a palm tree. What's the significance? Why would she sit there? She was shoifet Yisrael. She was telling Klal Yisrael what to do. But she didn't want to be misyachav with any men. She didn't want to be in a room. And she didn't want to be under a tree that has branches, somebody with a choshet. Tall tree, like in Los Angeles. You have these trees literally 150 feet tall. I don't even know. It just looks like it goes forever. Triple the size here. I don't know why, where they get them from. These palm trees. So it doesn't, there's no problem with yichud. Another pshat. Rashi explains, a palm tree doesn't have sap going into the branches. It has one trunk, and that's it. On top of the trunk, it has the fruit. But the sap goes up and down in the trunk. That's Klal Yisrael. We yearn to be like that, to be one. One people. One like a trunk of a palm tree. What does it mean? There's a keren, there's a horn, and there's a flask made out of earthenware. Here you have the pasuk. It's the same. It's Shmuel. Actually, this happened first. But the Gemara talks about this first. This is by David. This is by Shaul. By David, it says Vayikach Shmuel as keren Hashemen, a horn full of oil. A keren is much stronger, lasts forever. You're not going to break a horn. Vayikach Shmuel by Shaul as pach. He took the earthenware. Earthenware can break. This is significance. Why are the two words different? Says the Gemara, it's like this is a nevuah. Rama karni v'le Rama pachi. Since Shmuel used a horn of an animal, their malchus lasted for a very long time. Shol v'yehu, the two of them, shenitzchu b'pach, lo nimshchu malchuson. Ein kadosh kashem ki ein biltecha. No, sing. Everybody say, help the guy out. Rabbi say, Rakia's CDs are everywhere. They sell them everywhere. Judah David on the guitar. Okay. It sounds better than that, though. You want to see one of your originals, maybe? No, not now. Okay. It's going to outlast you. I had an argument with Mechavrus on Shabbos. I said, we learned this recently. He said, no, we didn't. We learned it in Brachas. I said, no, we did. Of course, I was right. No, never. I'm 0 for 100, for 1,000, whatever. He was right. It was in brachas. I don't know why. It felt like we just had a sugi like this. I looked up all the words, couldn't find a single one. That what? The guy that made the Eiffel Tower, where is he now? Bye-bye. Was that Akiva? Oh, that's the Chazin's son. Okay. Outlast his own handiwork. There's no rock like a Kosh Baruch Hu. Tzur is a lashon, ain't tzayer kelikin. There's no artist like a Kosh Baruch Hu. Now what? Adam tzar tzura gavai kaisel. You could do graffiti on a wall, but you can't put any life into it. Kosh Baruch Hu tzar tzura b'toich tzura. He could make art within art. In other words, and this is one of the biggest things. If you think about it, you see the Rebbeinu Shalom, the creation of a human being. Kosh Baruch Hu creates a baby within a mother. Tzayer tzura b'toich tzura. Umata within that person. Umata ba'ruach neshoma k'revayim b'nei mayim. Avigail, d'chsiv v'hoya hi recheves al chamar. This is one of the most difficult sugyas to understand, really. But this pshatim, you have to know them. V'hoya hi recheves al chamar v'yeredes b'seiser har. Avigail. So we had the story. I don't remember what Masechta. Anybody remember? Leyb, you remember what Masechta was? That basically, David and his men came. They needed food, and Naval made fun of David HaMelech. He wouldn't give them food, nothing. So David HaMelech said, "He's married by Malchus. We have to kill him." So he's going to kill him. Avigail, the wife of Naval, comes to greet David. She brings food. She's trying to save her husband, and she comes down the hidden part of the mountain. She came down the mountain. What's the hidden part of the? She showed him dam nida. She came with a trick. She says, we learned in brachas, David used to get his hands dirty with dam. She came, Rabbi, is this tar tame? What is this? You can't look, I can't paskin at night. Happens to be in our days we do paskin at night because we have fluorescent, we have lights. But in those days, and now you can't. What to the hour of a candle? Can't tell the difference between the different shades of dam. Oh, that's the exact answer I want to hear from you. Thank you for saying it. You fell into my trap. How could you say that my husband is chayiv misa? It's nighttime now. You can't paskin din in nefashos at night. Oh my Lord. He disobeyed me. He made fun of me. I'm the king. I was anointed by Shmuel. We just saw the pasuk. He deserves to die, even at night. You don't have to do bezah, nothing. Kill him. It's not fair. People still don't realize that you're the real king. Shaul's around. It's not 100%. I like your reasoning, and you should be blessed. You saved me from blood, but plural, bloods. Okay, you saved me from killing your husband. By the way, anybody remember that sugi? We just had it. How many days, how long did Novel live after this? 10, very good. Who said 10? Why 10? He did something. What? 2 things. He gave 10, he did 10. Beis Hamikdash 10, I don't remember. Maybe it was in Yuma. Huh? No. King. You're off with his head. Sponsored by Aaron Stroke in honor of my parents, Josh and Naomi Stroke, and Azar ben Shimon HaKohen. Sponsored in honor of Rabbi and Mrs. Avraham Yaakov and Sarah Levine. This is Chaim Peres Levine by their children.
Eli, let's remind people about year end.
Year end. What about year end?
Time to give them donations. Year end donations.
Oh, Chaparain. But I only have 8 minutes here. Rabbi Isai, it's year end, says Avi. It's year end. If you didn't give your donations yet, I don't know who that person is. But if you're that guy that Nebuch didn't give your donations, you don't know what to do with it year end. You could be mzaka people to learn Torah by giving Gemaras, or give MDY, or give the Koil.
You could sponsor in advance for next year's Daf and Gemaras. Let's do it now before the end of the year.
Do it now before the end of the year and sponsor next Masechta. Great idea. I like it. All right, call Avi. He'll talk to you about it. He knows the stuff. Avi, what about your year end? You got it? You covered? Avi gives a lot of tzedakah. Baruch Hashem. Okay. And a lot to MDY. He gave this whole Aron Kodesh and a lot more. Davim dardi mashma. Ela milam shigis shoika v'halach lo'ira gimel parsois. This is the part that's very, very difficult to understand. It says that she revealed herself. She's a married woman. She revealed herself, and David had a taiva, and he walked towards her 3 parsois. Says Taisus. Look at Taisus. This you need Taisus. Gilsa shoika v'halach David lo'ira shalish baris kasha. Hey, Chayset Tzadekis. Gilsa shoika. She was one of the greatest women. Neviah. How? She's Megalis shoika l'fnei David, and she's Eishesish. V'ikasha the mechzik guzma loyma shalach lo'ir shoika gimel parsois. Shleima the name sabes for meduyakim shenokim em luura, not lo'ira luura. Kolaima luur shala perush nisavel David v'alach b'ur chamimos shalish parsois. I saw in different achronim like the Marsha, I think, or maybe the Ben Yoyada. Basically, she wasn't even there. It's before the story. What happened was, let's say she was getting dressed, whatever, something. She was in her own house, but David knew, and the same thing happened with Bathsheba. David knew he has to marry this woman. That was the thing. He had a nevuah, he had to marry her. So the taiva brought him there, but he was off. He miscalculated the time. That's what they explain. But it doesn't mean that she exposed herself to him. It means that she was exposed. Fine. The Rabbad says, and this is wild, again, wild stuff. The Rabbad says she wasn't Eishesish. She was only Pilegish of Novel. Okay, that's already big stuff. Fine. Omar Law, and this is even a harder line to understand. Omar Law, Hishami Li. Let's get married. And she's Eishesish. What's going on here? Omar Law, Leisia Zois, Lecha Lefuka. Don't let this be a stumbling block. The best shot I saw about Hishami Li, for me at least, that made sense to me, is that he was telling her, look, your husband is a dead man. And in fact, he died 10 days later. So he's saying, listen, let's get married in 10 days. Not right now when you're Eishesish. He's a dead guy. But that also is a problem. You don't talk like that when you still have a husband. Fine. So here's her nevuah. She said, don't let this action be your stumbling block. I'm not going to allow it. But there is going to be a stumbling block that you're going to stumble upon, and which is what? That he did stumble, and that was a nevuah that came out of her mouth. So you see that, anyways, you see how Abigail was an Avi. She said, the soul of my master should be bound b'tzorah chayim. Ki havis miftara minei omer lei. When she was leaving David, v'heitiv Hashem la'adoini, Hashem should do you good. V'zachartis hamosecha. So unbelievable. She says to him, listen, my husband's going to die one day. I want to marry you. V'zachartis hamosecha. Just remember me. Literally 10 days later. Omar Rav Nachman it's a woman when she's on the phone, pilcha, she could cook. No, it means when she's schmoozing, she could do needlework. She's talking over here, but she's thinking over there. I don't have a great picture, but here, let's say a goose, right? These are Canadian geese. They look very cute. I hate them. I'll tell you why in a second. In Chicago, this is a disaster. If you live in certain places, they look beautiful, they're so pretty. Not in Chicago, in certain places on my properties, these cost us a lot of money. In fact, in one of my properties, the manager, she saw them on a nest of eggs, so she looked Yeminu smile, and she went and she grabbed the eggs, she destroyed the eggs. Cops came, she was in jail. We had to take her out of jail. Bemis, I'm not joking, she was in jail. You go to jail, it's an endangered species, whatever. But they do a tremendous amount of damage with the waste. So now in our properties, we have to get a guy that has a dog that's trained to chase them. A dog is allowed to kill them, humans not. And when they see the guy's car, you see them disappearing. They disappear. They see the guy coming into the property, they all run away. Anyway, and then he goes. The dog finds the eggs, eats the eggs, the whole thing. Costs a lot of money. Don't like them. But if you see here, their head is. This guy is walking like this, and they attack you. They're very aggressive. So his head is downwards, but at the end of the day, he's looking to the distance. He can see far. A woman also looks down, but she's looking. What's going to happen when her husband is dead? Huh? Canadians are no. You can go next to their eggs, whatever. Forget it. They'll attack you. They go like this, and it's funny to watch. You see big, strong adults running It's a little bird, a little teeny mouth. Zog the Gemara. Chulda. So what happened over there is that Yoshio, the whole thing, Yoshio told Chilkiah, go, use the Kohen Gadol, go check, we have to do renovation. And he found the Sefer Torah. And they didn't like what they found. When they opened up the Sefer Torah, there's the original Sefer Torah, they opened it up and it was at the Klaus. So they didn't know, they bring it to Chulda. What's going on here? What's this? What's the Nevuah? It's like, Gorel Agro, or you like open up the Zechus of the Rebbe, it's over here, it's not good. It says bad stuff. Kings are going to go, die. Says Gemara, asks the Gemara, how do you go to Chulda? How could they go to a woman, Neviah, even if she's the great, but Yirmiyah is alive? You have to go to Yirmiyah. No, not a problem. He wasn't makbid. She was a relative. Go ahead, take care of whatever you need. He wasn't makbid. So, okay, it wasn't so makbid. It's a little bit of a problem because at the end of the day, in order to have nevuah, you have to prepare yourself for nevuah. No, because the question is, what do you mean? If the nevuah came to her, so that's the nevuah. If the nevuah came to you, you say the nevuah. The answer is no. A person has no right to prepare themselves and go into meditation states and doing all the preparation you have to do for nevuah, whatever it is. I'm just threw out a meditation. It's not. I don't know if that's the proper word, but you have to do certain steps to get nevuah. You shouldn't do it because it's Yirmiyah. The answer is because she was a relative, she was allowed to take those steps. Why would he send to her? He had a cheshbon. Since she's a woman and she has more rachmanis than men, let's send it to her. And if it's terrible news that comes out in the nevuah, she'll daven better than the men. The reason why they didn't go to Yirmiyah because he wasn't in the country. He had to leave the country to grab the 10 shvatim. How do you know that when he got back? So Yecheskel said in nevuah that there's not going to be a yovel. Now, if there's no yovel, when you have to have all the shvatim together to have the 50th year yovel. So there's no yovel. The Aser says shvatim are here, and he gets up. Rabbi said, I have a tremendous nevuah. There's no yovel. Yeah, yishkoyach. The Aser says shvatim are here. Obviously, when he said the nevuah, they were there. Where did they come from? Okay, they came back. And who's their king? Yoshio. It's a whole long story. We'll just say it very quickly. He went to burn the bones of those who did Avodah Zarah. And he asked the question, he said, why is this grave, why does it have flowers on it or hadassim on one side and thorns on the other? He said, I'll tell you why. Idai Navi died. Why? Because he was a Navi, he was a great person. But the Navi Sheker told him, part of the Nevuah was, don't eat and drink until you get back. Remember, we just had the story recently. Everything's recently, maybe 5 months ago, I don't know. Idai Navi. So the Navi Sheker said, no, you could eat. Now he's starving, so he ate. So he died. But he was really Navi. So then this Navi Sheker said, I want to be buried with him. So half the grave is for the Navi, the tzaddik. It has flowers, the other half thorns, and that Navi Sheker was saved that they didn't burn his bones. He's the great Navi. He's upset about the Avodah Zarah. What is he doing over there? You see that he was the king. He brought back the Esther. How do we know? Finally, Esther Malka. How do you know she's a Neviah? She wore the kingdom, the Malchus. The clothing she wore. Malchus is talking about she wore Ruach HaKodesh. It's referring to Ruach HaKodesh. When a woman has greatness like a Neviah, it's not good for them. It brings them to Gaiva, Tarti Noshe, Yehir and Havian. There's two of them that were great, but became Bali Gaiva, Sanyon, Shmayu, and we hate their name. Chodesh Shema Ziburta, one of them is a bee, Devora. Chodesh Shema Karkushta, one of them is a weasel, Chulda. Ziburta the Sivba, but the girl Barak. She called Barak. Bilu I lo yaz legabe. She called him to her but she didn't go there. Karkushta, this chulda, which is a weasel, chulda, ksivba, imrul ish, amra, imrul melech. She didn't say, stop here, I guess. Do people call chulda? No, but Devora, yeah. Devora is the name. All right, the boys say, have a wonderful day.